Afternoon, everyone. How we doing? Happy Friday. Sun's out. It's here. Ready for the webinar.
Okay. So we'll just, it's just gone 12, so we've just started to let people in. We'll give it a few more minutes. Hope everyone's keeping cool.
You know, it's cooler than it was last week, which I'm happy about. Last week was actually a bit of a struggle. At least it's just 30 today. I'll take that going into the weekend.
Yeah. Where are you at the moment, Dan?
I'm currently in Birmingham. I was doing a keynote this morning to a lot of people talking about compliance and AI, which was quite fun. But there's a golf course here, and I have got my clubs in the car, so it's just seeing if I can fit in enough time at the end of the day to get around in very quickly before I head home. We'll see what we can do.
That could be a great treat after this webinar.
I've got meetings all this afternoon. Maybe after the meetings I can try and get around in, but who knows? But should we kick off? Should we start?
Yeah. And just checking, Chad, it's all being recorded, isn't it?
Yes, it should be.
All recording's done.
Good.
So we'll have a copy of it at the end that we can share to you and everyone that's on the call and that didn't make it as well.
Fab. Good. Okay. So we've got 60 people on. There might be a few more coming through, but we will start things off. So hi, everyone. My name's Louise Anderson. I'm from Flex Legal. Thank you for joining. Today's webinar is all about using AI for in-house legal. And I'm really proud to be on the call today with First AI, who are going to be showing you some really practical demos of how to use Copilot. So just a quick introduction to the session today. Chad, if you can move it on one, please. So just a bit of background. I think everyone on the call is aware of Flex Legal, has worked with Flex, knows of us, but just as a bit of background, we're on a mission to enhance careers. We've been in the industry since 2017, and our work is to connect legal professionals at all levels with teams in in-house and law firms for flexible interim work placements. We began in the very early days by connecting law graduates who are hungry for opportunity with busy solicitors, and we've since evolved to support lawyers at all stages of their careers, from newly qualified seeking new challenges to mid-career lawyers looking for work-life balance, or all the way up to senior retired lawyers looking for interim work. We've also added company secretaries, data protection officers, and legal project managers to our platform too. Just going to put you on mute, Dan. Thanks. And of course, when the SQE was rolled out a few years back, we were really proud to offer a new route to qualification through our Flex Trainee and Flex Apprenticeship scheme, which specifically supports those who may not have the financial or the social capital. However, moving on, Chad, we're really aware that legal careers at all levels are changing, and they're changing right now. We're seeing this in the news, and we're already seeing that artificial intelligence is transforming the way that legal work gets done. AI can review large volumes of documents, draft basic contracts, automate research, and extract data, and it's working faster and more accurately than ever before. And this is only the beginning. So, moving on, Chad. The industry is transitioning, and Flex really wants to close the skills gap that we're starting to see. I've spoken to lots of people in the industry, lots of our people on the call, clients, lawyers, tech providers, and I've heard some really common themes which hopefully will resonate with you. The AI market is absolutely booming at the moment, and it is overwhelming. Many of you are being hounded with lots of different options, and it's very confusing to navigate which tool or software to use. Many of you have some form of AI, but you're finding that you're probably not making the most of what you've got, or you're not sure about all of the different features and functionality. Some of you are really being encouraged by your organizations and your leaderships to find benefits of using AI, cost saving, efficiencies, but you're not really sure where to start or how to navigate that. Some of your team members may have already cracked on and just started using it, which might be worrying you. Or you may have other team members who have tried it, don't like it, they're skeptical, and now they're resisting it. And some of you just do not have the time to work out how to make this work for your team, or the skills to be able to work out how to build workflows, agents, prompts, etc. So Flex Legal has partnered with First AI. We've listened to all of these themes, and we really feel that we can help. We believe that we can provide support, not software. There is already a lot of software out there in the market. What we really need is some support. And we really feel at Flex that we can do this the Flex way, which is to connect legal teams to brilliant talent. So when we found First AI, we really had lots of things in common. We both believe in a human-first approach. We believe in providing people, and that AI is there to support people. We both believe in training and scaling talent, and we both believe that we can build capability through flexible, cost-effective talent for your teams. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to First AI team, who are going to show you a little bit about what they do and also show you some whizzy things that you can be doing on Copilot.
Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Dan. I am head of AI here at First AI Group. I'm also joined by Chad as well. So Chad is on screen. He's one of our client adoption managers here and specializes in Copilot adoptions for businesses. Now, Louise, thank you so much for the kind intro to that. As mentioned, we are a business. If you could go on the next slide for me, please, Chad. Today, look, we're going to have a look over what we do as a business, how we work, what we offer to companies. We'll have a look at some of the pain points in legal teams. Louise absolutely hit the nail on the head there, but there's some more insights on that as well. Chad will be doing some live demos, some stuff that you can bring in-house for your in-house legal teams, GCs, and everything that we've built so far and we've seen from the wider team, and then we'll do a roundup as well. Just a couple of things. So I have been working with Microsoft for nearly 8 years for Microsoft now. I've worked specifically on the Copilot rollout for over 3 years. We worked on a lot of customers, a lot of different environments, but specifically in the legal space, we're finding a huge growth in that. So if you've got any questions at all, you want to ask about the solutions, you want to ask about any of the products we're talking about or any of the methodologies, please feel free to pop it into the chat. We'll be happy to answer it as we go along. Either myself or Chad will be able to do that. Chad, can you on to the next slide, please? Cool. So First AI, who are we? First AI was started back in 2023, and we were solely built to focus on helping companies adopt Copilot. We offer 4 or 5 of the things here as the pledges that we do. So first of all, we help companies use Copilot and not only use it from a sense of turning it on and finding out what the buttons do, but actually really embedding it into your workflows. We provide adoption managers, so people like Chad. We have an army of adoption managers that we've trained up, and they will help businesses all over the place in many different ways. We will help discover the use cases for Copilot. We'll come in, we'll build custom workflows, we'll do hands-on training, we'll do agent development, agent opportunities, and then we'll help you take it almost beyond the visionary session right into on-the-ground training every single day, working with you to really affect different parts of the business on there. We also provide custom agent builds. So the year of the agent, agents are buzzing everywhere. But what does an agent mean? It's specifically a chatbot or a specific automation tool that uses AI to replace a lot of processes. Now, We don't solely work in the legal sector, but legal and accounting are kind of our biggest industries that we work in. And I absolutely love your industry because it's data heavy. And for me, being able to work with any business that are data heavy just shows so many opportunities for AI, specifically Copilot, to transform how you work and really hit the processes on there. So incredible place for agents to come in because it can streamline down everything from reporting. From reporting right through to customer interactions, customer facing interactions, third party solution, data interrogation, everything from there. Our sole focus, we don't sell licenses, we don't sell products, we are just here solely to help you on your journey with AI. And like I say, we worked with some of the biggest legal firms in the world, some of the coolest in-house GCs across many different departments. And what underpins everything is we understand that compliance is top of mind, GDPR, regulations, and everything around there. We make sure you're using it in a secure and safe way. See on the screen some of our clients on here. Adler and Allen, so part of the Goldman Sachs group, around their environmental risk reduction, Patalia Capital, a lot of investment firms, and then from a pure legal house side, Clifford Chance, Hill Dickinson, NRF, and a few others. So while we are not legal specific, we are very well versed in the legal world and understand a lot of what you have to do both as in-house counsel, GCs, and in the wider network from there. Chad, can you ping to the next slide? Good man. So what is Copilot? Why the hype around Copilot? What does it do? It seems every single day there's a new update, and Copilot's gone through many different iterations in the last probably 2.5 years. So we've seen Copilot Chat, Business Chat, Copilot M365, but Copilot now is what you see on the screen. Broken down into two main tools. First of all, you've got Copilot Chat, which is an online portal you can log on to. If you go to office.com and you use your work credentials, so your email address and password, you can access Copilot Chat from there. It's basically ChatGPT. It allows you to log on, upload data, interrogate, and pretty much mimic what ChatGPT does. If you use ChatGPT, you will be familiar very much with the interface on there. And then Copilot for M365 is the full Microsoft integration of Copilot into all of your applications. It sees every email you've sent, every Teams you've sent. You've got Copilot in Word, Excel, Outlook. It has access to all of your SharePoints. You can build into your third-party tools, and it can quite instantly analyze hundreds of gigabytes of data just with a simple command. So you can see you've got agents, you've got the ability to tie into third-party products, all from either a single interface online, or you can go into Teams, Outlook, and stuff like that. And the difference between the both would be, for using the included version, which is Copilot Chat, you manually upload 2 contracts and say, can you please do a comparison of these 2 contracts, highlight any key differences in the jurisdictions, or highlight any inconsistencies in this contract. You manually have to do that. On M365 Copilot, because it's embedded into your entire M365 ecosystem, you could just say with a simple command, can you please find the contracts that were discussed in the meeting I had an hour ago, interrogate them and find any differences. Like I say, it's able to access all your meetings, all your recorded meetings, all your emails, your Teams messages, your documents, your SharePoints, and from there. So native interrogation of that, absolutely impressive. I've worked on this since it's launched out. I've helped 132 companies, not countries, sorry, 132 companies with their Copilot adoption. And it's an incredible tool. In terms of comparisons against things like ChatGPT or other tools, it's about 3 months behind in terms of its capabilities. Microsoft do that because they just safeguard and railguard all of the data protection on it. So yes, 95% of the stuff you can do on any other tool out there, you absolutely can do with Copilot. And on the left-hand side of the screen, we can see why it's so important actually that we're seeing firms specifically in highly regulated industries such as finance and the legal industry jump over to Copilot is because of on the left. GDPR compliance regulations should be the top of mind for any AI usage. You have to be able to justify what AI did, why it did it, what data it pulled it from. Have you used it in a certain way? Have you got a human to check it? And with more and more regulations coming in over the next 6 to 12 months, especially around the GDPR EU AI Act, I think Section 16, and from June, you have to be able to justify what is happening with your AI and how it's got to that decision. Microsoft have you covered. First of all, any data you upload into Copilot, either the chat, the free version, or onto the M365 version, it does not get used to train the wider model. So it doesn't go back to the mothership at Microsoft. Your data retains inside the M365 ecosystem. It means you're compliant in your AI usage. If you have to do discovery or litigation, you're able to track where the data went, where it came from, and why it got the output from there. You also control your data. You can control what you upload. You can restrict SharePoint. You can say that you don't pull web data into this as well. So you can keep it completely solely inside your data system. It also minimizes the risk against things such as hallucinations. So because of how Copilot works in the architecture, it references every single point it got it from. So every meeting it references, every Teams, every chat, every email, every document, it physically takes you to that document to be able to check it as well. So from a compliance point, from a risk point, from a sanity checking point, it's the most reliable tool that they can use. Also, as well, in terms of safeguarding AI usage, AI has got many uses that we can have in the business world. Some of them are fun. The trend that went around making ourselves into little Lego toys was great, but Copilot won't be able to do that. Copilot is solely built for a corporate environment. You're not able to do anything that could provide any reputational damage for your business. You're not able to do anything that could provide any copyright challenges to your business. And Microsoft's guarantee onto this, that if you ever were to create anything on Copilot that gets you sued for copyright infringement or taken to court around anything on trademarks, Microsoft will pay and represent you in court. That's a documented thing on their Copilot promise. So you have a safe system, a secure system, one where you can track your data, one that doesn't send data outside of your network. It doesn't put your compliance or any of your GDPR at risk. And also as well, from a litigation and access standpoint, you have complete control. It's a total safe solution, or 99.99% safe solution to use. Can't see the next slide on there. Did you change over? There we go. So what we're seeing at the moment is, look, your AI journey can be a massively intricate thing to handle, and I'm overwhelmed. I deal with this all day long. All I do all day long is speak about Copilot AI customers needs, and it gets a bit overwhelming because every day there seems that there's a new tool, new system, new third-party tool, new SaaS plugin, new ability. Copilot's getting updated all day long. Now you've got agents. Now you've got the ability to build, and you can customize. This screen perfectly sums up what we can do as a company and how we can support you, how Flex can support you, and how you can work with your Copilot needs. So on the left, we've got the products. You've got Copilot M365, which is the one where we go through and it sees access to your data. You've got Copilot Chat, which is the standalone version. You've got Copilot Studio, which is the ability to build custom agents and build some real in-depth automation. And you've got Power Platform as well. So Power Platform, a lot of what we do with AI and a lot of our approach to working with customers is when we start, we do a complete needs assessment. We'd recommend that there's some parts you can actually change with automation before you put an AI stack on top of it. So they're the 4 things that we work with the customers. And here's on the right hand side is the path that you can do. So each customer we work with, I've got a different example here. So for example, option number 1, M365 Copilot, Copilot Chat and Agents. That's all singing, all dancing. If you're a firm that's a little bit more advanced in terms of playing with AI and understanding, that'll be the option for you. We go through and we either do one-to-one training, one-to-many training. We build champions programs, promptathons. We can be hands-on or hands-off it as much as we want, but we come in and we enable the entire business on a standard way of working. We make sure everyone can use Copilot in the full version. Those that don't have that have a free version. We do agent deployment. We test, we deploy them, we build it for you on there. You could just have M365 Copilot, so the whole business or the whole department you're working in for the in-house legal, it's just using Copilot for M365, in which case we'll go through and we'll make sure that everyone is enabled with M365 Copilot. We train them on that. We teach them how to interrogate my inbox, how to interrogate Teams, how to interrogate the meetings that I've had. And also as well, we look at agents. We come through Power Platform. That could just be Power Automate and flows on there. We've got Copilot Chat and Agents. Again, if your department isn't ready to make the full purchase on M365 Copilot, there's still a huge amount of value that can go through on the free version. However, the process still goes the same. We go through, we make sure that you have everyone has the capabilities. We build the prompts. We sit down, we do the full overview on there, or we can do whatever you need. We can kind of step our process and look at how we can support you, what your strategy is, what the business needs are, individual needs assessments, what the deployment strategy is, security recommendations, agent recommendations. We can really take you along on the whole step along the way there. Chad, can you go to the next slide, please? So if we kind of take what we do as a business, and to be really clear, we solely play on that Copilot adoption piece, is we're solely here to help you use it. And that's all we want to do. We, like I said, we don't try and upsell, we don't do anything, but we're here as guides. You've got myself, you've got the team of adoption managers, and a normal engagement looks like this. No matter what products you're looking at, it all starts with that discovery session. And the discovery session is where we work with leadership, we work with the users, and we work with probably the champion program. And when I say champions, it'd be like 2 or 3 or maybe 5 or up to 10. It's a minimum of 5 up to 10 people, where we would go through and we would watch what your job is, what part of success you contribute towards the GC or the in-house legal team, what applications you use, what processes you have, what information you look at, where your data is stored, what the pain points are, what data you've got here, what data you've got there. And then when we go through and we'll give you a recommendation. The pain points is what we find out, and that's what you see on this slide. And the pain points that we found on customers, no matter where they are on their AI journey, pretty much start from this. I've got a Copilot button, but I have no idea what it does. It's more common than people realize. Copilot's been turned on. How do I use it? What can I use it for? Is it right? Have I got the right prompts? We come in and we build a prompt library for you on that. We have something called Prompt Buddy that we push out, but it includes all of your prompts that we try, that we test with you. We work next to it.
Yes.
And we really push it. So first pain point of no idea what it does, we help bring that to life. This is unlike any other technology I've worked on. I've worked on everything from Azure to HCI Cloud to security to Teams and all the other cool stuff. However, this is completely new, and it takes a lot more hands-on. We have to give people almost like the secret sauce to making it work. It's very hard to kind of forge your way through on there. Number 2, I didn't get the response I want from Copilot, so I'm going to give up on using it. Absolutely valid. You're not getting the response because either your data is incorrect, your prompting isn't the right way of asking, or there's another issue. We work through you with that. We coach you on the side of your desk or online to make sure that you fully understand through there. I'm too busy with day-to-day ops to learn new technology. Valid point. I'm too busy to keep up to date with only Copilot. There seems to be a new update every single day, every single week. However, what we can do on this one as part of our business is we go through and we will give you the recipe. We'll give you the proven prompts, we'll give you the prompt book, we'll give you the prompt repository, we'll give you the agents, we'll give you the workflows. So we minimize the time you need to spend with us, but we maximize the output you're going to get from that. And then also as well, business value. We're about to spend £300 per person per year, or £25 a month. Yeah, £300 per person per year, paid monthly. How does this impact my life? How do I make sure this is positive? What even is return on investment? What does success look like? Let us do that. We as a business have done over 50 deployments now, from the biggest companies in the world right through to some of the single operators. We get it. We understand what value is in your departments. We can help you come alongside that, so you can either present a business case to the team, you can find value within inside what you do, but also we can give you other insights as well. What are the trends we're seeing? And then lastly, what happens if you're not in the M365 ecosystem? Don't fully need to be. We can tie into other stuff as well. We've got the ability to tie you into other environments, third-party environments and other things. So it's not an issue from that side. Just speak to us. Right, this is a giant grey zone at the moment. Normally, I like to live in the black and the white of life. AI is a huge grey zone. How do we navigate that? We're here to help you from that one. Chad, next slide, please. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to pass it over to Chad. Chad, like I say, he is on the ground every day working with customers. I'll let him introduce himself, but he's going to go through some live demos and some stuff that you can do straight away using Copilot after this webinar here. Over to you, Chad.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Louise, for that. So I'm a Copilot adoption manager, and all that means is I live and breathe Copilot. I know all the nooks and crannies, and I've worked with hundreds of individuals, working with them to get them upskilled and understand Copilot, to work it into their workflows. I've written thousands of prompts, and all I'm going to do today is show you some fantastic examples of what Copilot can do, and some relevant examples of what we've been able to do with individuals on legal teams and in the legal space. So for my first example, I'm actually going to pull something that we do very similar to the legal team at Accenture. So they've mandated it at Accenture that everyone needs to be using Copilot to summarize their emails. But The first AI spin is that we've got a few bits of really important information. Now, just for full clarity, I'm on Copilot M365, which means I'm on the paid version that's integrated in all of my apps. I'm not on the chat version that Dan was asking about before. So even though I'm in Copilot within the Teams app, Copilot is going to be able to understand and see all of my emails because it is integrated with all of my Microsoft data, basically. So in this example, I'm asking Copilot to summarize emails from a very specific time period. This is really important. And the emails in here, I'm happy to share on this webinar. But also, and this is a takeaway you can use when you're prompting and wanting to summarize your own emails, is I'm asking Copilot to categorize each email I receive as high or low priority and provide the summary as a table as well as any action items. So we're going to put it in and look at the response that we get for it. And because I've specified in the response that I want it as a table, it's going to come back in a really nice way to read and interact with. So whilst it's loading there, all it's doing is from that specified time period, it's looking through all my emails. So as it's loading up here, it's not giving me back all these emails in continuous prose. Instead, it's doing it as a table with 3 different columns. Now, what I love about Copilot is it's able to distinguish what is important, what's a priority to me, and what isn't. So it's still loading in here, but we can see that I've got a summary of what this email is about. I've got action points, so I can understand emails that I actually need to respond to. And I'm not wasting time with, as I'm sure everyone, 100% of you on this call can attest to, not wasting times on emails I don't need to respond to or don't need to understand. Now, if I wanted to jump into that email, I would just hover over and then click on it and it would take me to the email. So for example, I've got some action items that I can act upon, coordinating with Dougald, reviewing this comment from this client here. But also, if we keep on scrolling down further, we can see that I've got an AI newsletter here because I'm an absolute nerd. But we can see I don't need to respond to this and it's low priority. So what Copilot is doing here, rather than just giving us a nice little summary, it's a great way for me at the beginning of my day or at the end of the day to understand those emails that are in the back of my mind that I'm dreading having to deal with and actioning them and responding to them as I see fit. And this could be a great way, as I said, for you to start or end your day. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new conversation by pressing the blue button at the top here. Now, I'm sure being on the in-house side, you are bombarded with people that want a piece of your time and you have to catch up with meetings and explain ideas to the rest of the organization, and it's complicated trying to organize meetings and understand and make time to work, especially in this day and age where we work remotely so much. So what Copilot can do is it can schedule a meeting with my fellow team and find a time that works for us all. So in this prompt, Copilot is going to schedule a meeting with Dan, Mohammed, and Christina on my team, look at all of their diaries and find the time that works. And I'm titling it Holiday Catch Up because one of Christina here actually has been on holiday and we want to fill her in once she gets back. So as we can see here, Copilot has said it's able to schedule this, and I'm going to press Continue in Outlook, which will take you and open a new tab for you. And right now, we're going to see, once it loads, that Copilot has got all the email addresses of all the people that I want. And on the right-hand side, it's found that actually 2 p.m. works. We can see here, if I click on 3 p.m., one person is available. This is Christina. I call it Catch Up, and I can send a meeting like that. So imagine trying to organize a meeting. I'm sure you've all been there. You got to hop with a call or you're messaging someone on Teams. Copilot gets rid of this. It finds a time that works and we can send off an email for the link to the meeting as easily as that. if I didn't want it on Monday, I could go into Tuesday, and Copilot's gone through everyone's diary, found a time that works. 2 p.m. seems to be the magic time of next week, and I could send it off. And there we go. Copilot has sent off an email, and we've all scheduled a meeting. Now, for my final example that I'm going to use in Teams here, before we jump into Word, as I know all of you will live inside that app, I'm going to show you how Copilot can help us consolidate information. And in my example, I'm using clients from lots of different sources. So in this prompt, I'm going to ask Copilot to summarize all my information about one individual client over the last 21 days. And you can see in my prompt that I've explicitly asked it to look through my emails, my Teams messages, and any documents. So once we send this in, Copilot, because we are on that on the paid version, the M365 version, and it's integrated, it's going to look through all my resources and pull out all the relevant information. So I just love this. I think it's fantastic. It's drawn 3 emails, 91 Teams messages, and 17 documents. All of these bits of information are linked as well. So I could go and click on any of these numbers, and it would take me to that email. It would take me to that document. It would take me to that Teams message. And now we can see it's even got little emojis now because it's updated. And as Dan said, based on ChatGPT, but compliance, we can see that it's organized all this information by important aspects I need to deal with, such as technical setup, delivery planning, training, client engagement. And it's even got action points and contracts as well that potentially we need to deal with. So this could be even you're working on a project internally, you're in communication, it could be with a client, or as I said, a colleague, and it's a great way to pull all this information together, and it's a great way to find each specific document or messages or sources. And just to be clear, at the bottom, we could also come and see all the sources, press this little arrow, and it will take all the citations that it's taken to put this response to our prompt together. Now, for my next demonstration, we're going to be jumping into Copilot in Word. Now, I'm sure, as I said before, if I can open Word up, there we go. Or not. Sorry, bear with me here. I think, yeah, okay. I think my computer's just struggling a bit as we're sharing the screen. But as we live in Word, Copilot has some fantastic capabilities. There we go. Of what it can do in here. Now, with my example that I've got here, I've got a contract that's been superficially generated with information that's fictitious and not real. But what I love about Copilot is that we can actually analyze specific instances within Word. So for example, this is a tip that when I've sat across tables in legal teams, they don't know about this in Copilot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to specifically copy and paste clause 6.1. And I'm copying that to my computer. Now, when I go to message Copilot on the right-hand side here, now I'm going to click on it. We're going to see the option to add the section that we're on. So when I click add section, we're going to see 6.1 is going to pop up. 6.1 at the bottom here. Now, I have no idea what section 146 of the Law of the Property Act is. Maybe someone can put in the chat if they happen to. I doubt no one does. But what I can do with Copilot in Word is because it's integrated, I can ask Copilot about it. So I'll say, what is this section about? Now, Copilot will use the internet and parse it for information about section 146. So again, it will reference as well that it's got it from this part of the document, and it's explained what it is. Now, I could also ask Copilot to improve a specific section perhaps to be more specific if I wanted to. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it. I'm going to click Message Copilot, add section. This time it's 6.2, and I could ask it, what could I do to improve this? Now, I'm sure you've all got some ideas coming to mind, but why I want to show this to you is to think, are there aspects in your contract that you specifically, in contracts that you work with, that you want to specifically get more information out, understand how to improve, or it could even be explained in language that the non-legal members of your organization need to understand. So we can see here that Copilot's given me 5 recommendations of how I can improve it and potentially what is wrong. And if I wanted to, I could press the insert button here to improve it. Now, finally, what I want to do is show you that we can use Copilot in Word to explain legal jargon or legal heavy documentation for those team members that don't understand it. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy. I'm going to add as a section, and I'm going to do that for all of these because we can do more than one. Now we can see 5.3, 5.2, 5.1, and I'm going to ask Copilot to help me draft an email. Again, the +1 shows that we've got all the clauses, and I'm going to draft an email to the fictitious Gareth explaining these concepts. So, for example, write the clauses of each contract into an email that Gareth, with limited knowledge of law, would understand and what the implications are, including risk. Now, once we search that, Copilot, because I've said its name is Gareth, is going to write that out to him and present with me an email where I don't have to waste the time trying to explain or write in layman's terms, with as much respect to Gareth as I can say here, but I won't have to waste the time explaining this and talking about the risk. And we don't just have to talk about implications of risk. I could think, what else would be relevant to Gareth that he'd be interested in regards to this contract? And with our prompts, and if we're specific, Copilot will know how to write that into an email that makes sense. As we can see, we've got an email, and because we're integrated, it's signed off as Chad Turner, and I've got an email here that's ready to go, and I can write with. Now, that's just a few things we can do in Word. Just a quick sort of tip. If you want to find further legal prompts or ideas, you can also click the Add button here, View Prompts, and Microsoft have some pre-written prompts within the legal sector. So if I go on to job type, go into legal, we can see that Copilot has lots and lots of legal prompts that we can use. You can do this in Excel, you can do this in PowerPoint, you can do this in Teams, and Microsoft have created prompts for the legal space, but also IT and finance for prompts for you to use so you're ready to go. So if you're ever struggling and thinking, could I use Copilot here? Remember, use the plus button and try and see what Microsoft have got if you're struggling for inspiration and don't have an adoption manager like myself sitting beside you. So for the next section, I'm going to take us back into Teams, and I'm going to do some document comparison. Now, I'm going to open a new chat just so it's easier for me to live with and we're all in one space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the prompts that I've got here because we're very adept at writing prompts. And I'm going to get Copilot to compare to lease agreements. So just for full clarity, what I've done there, I've pressed the / to access these contracts I've created for the purpose of this webinar. And I'm going to compare 2 of them. So webinar contract 2. Now, what's really important here, again, and I hope you're picking up on this as a theme, is that I've asked Copilot for deviations, missing actions, and formatting the information into a table. And this is just a great rule of thumb that we can all try using Copilot in the future. Again, this is fantastic. Compared each contract and compared them side by side, put it in the table. And this is just a really easy format for people to understand and for people to get by. Now, if you're showing this to someone outside of your legal team, but someone else in your organization, this could be a really easy way for them to get their head around what's going on. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm going to move on to the second to last example, because I'm just a bit wary of the time that we have. But I'm now going to show you how we can draft a software as a service terms really quickly. Now, I don't have a template here. I'm just using Copilot. If you wanted to use a template that you have in-house to work with, again, you would just press that / button and you could reference a template to have in there. I'm using, again, specific information. I've got the price over the 3-year term. And really important to make clear to Copilot, especially in the free version, talk about the governing law being England and Wales, because Copilot might think you're an American because it's created by an American company and do that. Again, we've got the heads of terms SaaS agreement, and it's a fantastic use of where Copilot can speed up that term of drafting services. And it's a good way that I would never say use this as gospel, rely on this, but it's a great way of starting off that foundation process rather than using your precious time to draft something like this from scratch. This way, you've got a foundation to work on, and you can go and picket it, build on it, and yeah. But I would never tell you to rely on something like this as a finished product. Now, for my final example, I want to show you the depth of prompts that other individuals in the legal space, not just in-house legal teams, but within the legal sector at law firms such as NRF, Norton Rose, is the depth and length of competition that they're using and the prompts that we've helped to create. So I'm going to give you a prompt that is over 300 words long, because this is the standard, because people are only going to get better at prompting. So I'm going to copy and paste it in here, and we've still got the formatting, and we've got a really, really, really long prompt, as you can see. And I've actually got a little description at the top, which I'll get rid of. It just describes what it is. But here we've got a prompt for generating a UCAN compliant master service agreement. Now, we do little things here at First AI because we are pros in writing prompts, such as telling Copilot, and you might have seen posts about this on LinkedIn, that it's a senior commercial contracts lawyer. Because sometimes when we role prompt, what this is called, it enhances the capability and understanding of Copilot. We've also put in lots of specific information, such as the payment terms, intellectual property, and what we have out of it. Because we have the time and we have the expertise, whereas most of you do not, we can work with, and we do work with in-house legal teams to make sure we can have these absolutely mega prompts that take out a lot of that legwork, a lot of that foundation to get some fantastic result. Actually, we have at First AI 600 over 600 bespoke legal prompts that are tried and tested that we have ready to deploy, that when we work with clients and when we do webinars with our beloved friends in the industry, such as Flex Legal, we can hit the ground running because we have that experience with working with legal prompts. Now, what Copilot has done, it's created the document that is ready to go. It's briefly summarized this. If I wanted Copilot to create it as a Word document, as we all love Word here, Copilot would go and do this for us. It will go and do that for us. It could create it as a PDF. Just a good rule of thumb that I will say before I will hand back over to Louise is that when we write prompts that are really long, as much of this, what we can do is a really cool function is when we hover over it, we can see we've got the option to save it. Now, when we save this prompt, I'm going to call it MSA prompt. This is then being saved. So rather than have to copy and paste this prompt for some random location, I can go to the bottom right here, go to view prompts. We've got Microsoft prompts, as I talked about before, your prompts and team prompts. So because I saved this to myself, I've got an MSA prompt ready to go. And once I put that in, it's loaded up and ready to go. If you've linked documents, so let's say you're drafting a shareholders agreement and you've got a template that you normally use. If you linked that template to this document, to this prompt, Copilot would remember to attach that to this prompt going forward. So rather, when you're going to write out prompt again, you don't have to manually attach it. Now, there are lots of other aspects here at First AI that we're familiar with because we know all the apps like the back of our hand. I could tell you what Excel can do. I could tell you what Excel can't do. But this is just sort of a taster of what we've seen Copilot can do with our emails, with scheduling meetings, with summarizing and consolidating information. We saw how we can use it in Word to rewrite clauses, to write out emails for our less legal savvy members of our organization. But we've also seen how prompts can do that foundation work for us. How what others are doing in industry where we've got these 300 long word prompts, and what happens when you have someone that has the expertise, has the time that you don't have, that can help you maximize the value with Copilot. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go back into the demonstration and I am going to get Louise to pick up where we left off and sort of close
Chad,
this
I'm going to
out.
jump in.
Yeah,
If you don't mind,
Dan.
I'm just going to jump in very quickly. So, look, thanks, Chad, for the demos on there, but there's some other stuff you can do that we're seeing massively increase in the legal space at the moment and for in-house GCs and legal teams and counsel teams. 5 things that I've seen on more a bit of an in-depth level. First of all, contract review and risk flagging. So reviewing income third-party contracts, flag key risks or deviations from standard terms. It's quicker contracts cycles, quicker or better risk management, reduces reliance on any kind of external parts on there. Policy drafting and compliance is a huge thing. So ESG, data protection policy, also internal frameworks and less manual effort. You've got board and exec reporting support, regulatory response, and also legal knowledge and president access as well. So going a bit more in depth from what Chad's shown you on the practical hands-on side, there's almost like a wealth of knowledge that you can import in to support you and ultimately what we struggle to do, handle the amount of data we have coming through and the tasks that we need to go on from that. Just to answer some of the questions very quickly, Connor's asked, are the prompts shareable with other users? 100%. You can share them internally through prompt gallery. So you go onto the prompt and you can hit share, copy, and you can send through there. And Natasha's asked as well, when you have used the same word in a number of documents entered into Copilot, it would automatically add that to its drafts. Does it train itself internally? It can have the option to do that, yes. It will suggest what you might want to do, or you can, if you keep asking it to do the same thing, it will keep doing that. I am going to pass back over to Louise now, if that's okay, just getting a little bit louder where I am. So over to you, Louise, and Chad on here.
Go for it, Louise.
Right. Thanks so much. Thanks, Chad, and thanks, Stan, as well. Love the enthusiasm for Copilot. Thanks, everyone. If you do have any more questions, please do keep putting them through on the chat. We've still got 10 more minutes, so there might be a little bit of time to answer some more. But if Chad's demos have whet your appetite, please do get in contact with Flex Legal. You can reach us through your account manager, or you're very welcome to contact me directly, or please reach out via the website, pick up the phone. We would love to speak to you about where you're at in the journey. I think, as Dan mentioned earlier on this call, you're all at different stages. And I think the beauty of First AI is that they can help you at whatever stage you're at, whether you're a total beginner or you need some help refining and developing what you've already got. So we'd love to work with you. We'd love to help your team. We know it's quite a daunting journey adopting AI. So we're here to help. We're not selling software, as we've said. We're just here to support you with what you've already got and to make the most out of what you have. So I think that's everything from us. Are there any other questions coming through? You've got a few more seconds. If not, this call has been recorded, so we will share it. Please do feel free to share this with your teams. And I'm not seeing any more questions, so we'll wrap up for there, and you've got 10 minutes back. But yeah, thank you very much for joining on this very hot day. And yeah, we hope to speak to some of you very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers, everyone. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy the sun. Cheers.